Alright guys and girls, welcome back to another quick video. Well, I would say a quick video. The last one I did earlier was like over 30 minutes long. Anyway, so I've got the 3DS here and I've had this for a while. I've been playing this like really good. The battery life on it in itself, I would say, is exceptional. Exceptional. So yeah, pretty good. I've had this like for a very long time. This is the limited Monster Hunters editions, the Nintendo 3DS. Absolutely amazing console. But yeah, this is the new. It's called the new 3DS because they've got like an extra button on the inside. I did buy the Sonic case for it, and I did a review sort of like of the unboxing of it when I bought it ages ago. I think it was like last year before, something like that. Anyway, I think it was last year actually, 2016 or maybe early 2017. Anyway, so I went to Sainsbury's yesterday, which would have been, what's that? Tuesday the 21st of November, and I bought two games which I'm trying out at the moment because I'm just trying to get my collection up together for the Super Mario games and the Luigi games. Now I wanted to try and get hold of the GameCube version of Luigi's Mansion, which is the first one, because apparently they've got the second one. This is number 2, by the way, Luigi's Mansion 2. I'm actually kind of enjoying the actual music in it. This is actually done by Nintendo, so Nintendo, and it's 3DS. Now, the 3D mode on this, on the console itself, absolutely brilliant. But it does like lag a little bit. Like sometimes you'll see it like literally chop a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. I think you gotta just keep it holding into position. I've only played a little bit of the first level. Well, no, I've completed the first level and I'm on the second level of it, where the red sort of ghost turns up. I want to get hold of the first game, which is I think the GameCube original versions. I got a GameCube in the cupboard. It's just getting all the bits and bobs for it and then getting the game, which I think the original game for it for the GameCube is around about 23 to 25 quid. So we'll get that at some point next year or something, hopefully. So I'm not worried at the moment. So what I have been bought, which I find is absolutely fantastic. I've plugged my Genius 2.1 speakers into the 3DS, so the sound is much louder, because I've noticed with the 3DS here, the sound isn't actually loud. They haven't got like supersonic sound coming out of it, which is a shame. It's not really that loud. Compared to like sort of the Samsung Galaxies, you can turn up the volume really loud and clear and crystal, like the Samsung Galaxy phones and stuff. Obviously it's because it's done by Samsung, the phones. But I do find the music in this, it sounds like they've got some of the original Super Mario Brothers music in there as well, and they've got like sort of remixes. And I do love the ones where you got like sort of a sandy sort of pyramids where you're climbing up to like sort of the mountains and all that kind of stuff on it. It's like a pick up and play 3D Mario apparently. So you pick up, play, and it's brilliant. Brilliantly made. It's more like open world based. You can't go everywhere. There is certain parts. But it gives you more room, like, because it's in a 3-dimensional world. But this is called Super Mario 3D Land. I've got the Super Mario 3D World, I believe, on the Wii U. Haven't played that one yet. but I will get down to it at some point. But I actually love the original Super Mario games. Big fan of Super Mario 1. Played it back in the days of the NES. And actually I've got the NES Nintendo Entertainment Mini System in the cupboard. I will probably do a sort of like a playthrough at some point of that. I think there's like 20 to 30, actually it's 30 games built in on the system, and you can play them in 720p, which is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm in World 3 at the moment, or Level 3, I think it's like World 3. I've been playing that. I'm still trying to, apparently you got to collect coins and get like, I think to get to World 4, you've got to have at least, or World 3, 4 or something, you need 15 points or something to actually collect, or coins to collect these big massive coins. And then you got like the ghastly ghosts and all that. Like on the back there's a sort of a picture of a ghost, like a chumpy. It seems kind of like the way Pac-Man games are usually, like with the ghosts where they try to eat you and all that kind of stuff. I love it with the star shapes. You collect the star shapes and you can just be invincible for like a certain amount of time. It's a shame I can't stream this game because the 3DS doesn't have HDMI on it, so you can't connect it to like a sort of capture device, which actually would be fantastic if there was a capturing device in the 3DS. Now, if Nintendo, I know the game I've been playing at the moment, I've got this here. I've only played a little bit on it, so don't eat me up yet, guys and girls. Super Mario Odyssey. Apparently it's supposed to be one of the best Super Mario games like made so far. It's like it's actually open world, this game here. Bowser's kidnapped Princess Peach and plans to make there's the wedding of the century, but not if Mario can help it. Join him and his new pal Cappy on an epic journey through the mysterious ruins. A neon-lit cityscape, a forest full of machines and other thrilling exotic locals. Now, this is on the Switch. I've had the Switch for a while now, and to be honest, the Switch on the mobile thing, I find it's kind of still too big. Now, do not get me wrong, it's a great console. It is what it is. It is powerful for a little small console. For the handheld, it is sort of like, because this is the 3DS. The one I've got over there is the Switch, which is actually kind of wider. So it's around about, I'd say probably about that big, considering. So probably an extra, a little bit extra. And then you've got like these sort of buttons. Now, I hope they do, I hope Nintendo makes the Switch 2 and makes the Switch 2 Pro, a Pro version, and I hope it has faster RAM, more like sort of RAM in it, so probably 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM, because I don't know, I think someone said there was only like 1 to 4 gig or something, 1 or 4 gig in that little thing. Now, if they made the handheld a bit smaller, around about that size for the 3DS, the new 3DS version, the screen may be just a little tiny bigger. Really, the screen should be absolutely just about fill this gap here, so you've got a much wider screen. That actually, and then do it so you can have the docking station when you plug it in. Hopefully, someone said, I think a friend of mine was saying on Twitter, he said he hopes that a Tegra X3 chip at some point goes into the Pro Switch. and he said it makes it more powerful, and I think he said something about he wants 8 gigs of RAM or something inside it, and I think something like 1080p 60 frames on the handheld, but an OLED screen. Now OLED screens would be fantastic, it'd be more brighter, the backlight would be a lot better and crystal clear, and you wouldn't be getting that pixelation and stuff like you do with the 3DS. There is a tiny little bit of pixelation in it. I don't know if it's to do with the pixels and all that on the screen, or if it's I don't know if this is actually LCDs. I think it might be LCD, the screen here. But I don't know what you guys and girls think. I want it so the new Switch Pro comes out. So when you got a handheld, you have this little port here where you put your 3D S game. So you can put your 3DSs in, or your SD standard Nintendo SD or SDIs in there. Maybe put those ones into there, the Nintendos, or DS, I mean DSIs and the DS games, and have them say running on the new Switch, but have it so you got 2 ports. You got one for the Switch games, because if you look at the Switch games here, right, because actually cartridges run faster than the actual discs. We obviously know that, and that's why these are absolutely more expensive in price, because it's more like SSDs these are, because these are running like SSDs. They're only little tiny little things. Look at that. Right, so we've got that. Right, this is the Zelda. Actually, is that Zelda? Yeah, that's the Zelda Breath of the Wild. I just had to take that one out because I have the Super Mario inside the game so far inside my Switch, so I'm actually playing that at the moment, the other games. So, and I bought this ages ago, Star Fox. I believe this is the N64 version. I'm not too sure because it says 64, Star Fox 64 3D version. Now I wish they actually did. I know they've got the Star Fox what's it called? Star Fox 2, and apparently it wasn't released, it was only released, I believe, in Japan, someone said. And so what they did, they brought it to the NES Mini. Yes, guys and girls, recently they brought out, right, you've got no, not NES, the SNES, the SNES version, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which was actually the second console was made, I believe, by Nintendo, because they made the Super Nintendo, and then, well, actually no, the SNES, and then actually first of all was the NES, which is the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then you've got the likes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on there. 1 and 2, I believe, was on there. And I'll tell you what, I played those back in the days, and I just loved the Nintendo system and all that. Super Mario, Star Fox, and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely top-notch games back then. But then I do like the Sega Master System and the Sega Mega Drives. And to be honest, they didn't really do much with the Sega Mega Drive remake when they brought out like a shitty version, mini version of the Mega Drive. The sounds actually still sound really awful. And to be honest, the original companies, Sega, should originally made that themselves. Then it would sound fucking perfect. But yeah, if you guys and girls enjoy these videos of me talking about it, I want to know from you guys and girls, do you think if Nintendo makes a Switch 2, would you want, right, a high-powered, high-tech Switch, which actually outputs, when you put it into the docking station, outputs at 4K, because like a 4K sort of docking station. So you plug it in, then it actually powers up and like has a sort of a water cooling system built inside, a bit like the Xbox One X. That could actually power some great games, and a lot of third-party companies would actually buy in. Maybe EA, Ubisoft do some really fantastic games. They're doing games at the moment for the Switch, like Doom, and then you've got the Elder Scrolls, which is on Switch. I haven't bought any of those yet, but apparently if Doom gets released, well actually not released, gets a patch for Switch 2 Pro, hopefully they call it Switch 2 Pro or something, or maybe somewhere along the lines. Hopefully Nintendo listens to this video or doesn't flag it, by the way. But if they do make Switch 2 or Switch 2 Pro, hopefully they have at least 8 to 12, actually maybe 12 gigabytes of RAM, DDR5 RAM or something like that, some high fast, probably a Tegra X 3 chipset from Nvidia, because I believe a friend of mine told me, I believe there was, is it the Tegra X1 chip? It's actually in the Switch, and it makes me wonder, no wonder it can't output games in 1080p. Some games, like the Super Mario Odysseys, are only running at 900p, and I believe it's only around about 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, somewhere along the lines. But 900p, I mean, come on guys and girls. I mean, it's probably going to run a lot better out on the docking station, on it, the dock, out of the dock, in just like the portable handheld. But to be honest, I want a smaller version Switch, something like this. And you could say, and then you'll probably end up saying, well, what's the 3DS? Well, the 3DS, yes, okay, is the alternative. But why don't they make a 3DS, for, like a new one, and make it more powerful, just like the Switch? Like a Switch Mini. Oh, God. Got a bloody sore throat now. Yeah, anyway, like a Switch Mini version. But with the mini version, say they made something like this, and you put that into the docking station, it outputs in 4K. Now, that would be insane. So you get the 3DS, and then like you have it so you can play your 3DS games in there, right, out and about, and have like another cartridge bit there so you can put your, like I say, actually on this side have like a sort of a memory card, so you can put a memory card there to save your games. You can put like an SD sort of card up to a 200 terabyte hard drive or something, little SD card in there, fast card, so you can save all your games and stuff on there, or install loads of games. Have a massive battery pack, even though this pack here is pretty good. I heard that the Switch battery life wasn't actually brilliant at all, wasn't that great, but I suppose it depends on the game, guys and girls. But yeah, hopefully Nintendo comes up with an idea to make a Switch 2. They probably won't release it now. I think it was released last year, the Switch, so that was 2016, or maybe it was 2015. I think it's 2016 last year. So hopefully they come up with an idea to implement a 3DS and a Switch combination together. Now that would be good. And then have it so you got the Nintendo store, so you can actually put all your old games, all the old sort of like classic games, onto the hard drive of the sort of Switch, 3DS Switch. And maybe they could call it the 3DS Switch, or Switch 3D. Hey, Switch 3D. That would be quite cool. Or like a combination of the two, Switch 3D. Maybe they might nip my fucking idea, then now they have to give me some money then for the Switch 3D. But yeah, that would be awesome. Anyway, guys and girls, cheers all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, do like, favourite, share, comment, and subscribe. But definitely tell me what you think. Do you think they should make a Switch Pro outputting at 4K 60 frames per second in the dock, and then from outside the dock, I don't know what you guys think, either 1080p or 1440p with an OLED screen and 8GB of RAM and a Tegra X3. I mean, that would be good. That would be awesome. Anyway, guys and girls, cheers all for watching. Stay safe and have a good one.